So now we're going to talk about protecting your head and face from the extreme cold. If you're at the North Pole, the South Pole, or Greenland, you can easily get frostbite on your nose, on your cheeks, on the tips of your ears, and sometimes even your chin if you're not paying attention to protecting your face. So we've got a bunch of things here, including some hats, some neck gaiters, and some balaclavas, and we're just going to show you what we wear on an average day. So starting off with a hat. There are a couple different kinds of hats you can wear. Keith, you want to just put this on? This is Keith's general cap, and you can see it covers his ears, which is really nice because right up here is where it can get really cold, and so a hat that covers the ears is pretty important. It's not a super thick hat, and that's really nice so that he doesn't overheat too easily. Again, the layering system is used to keep you warm but not too warm, so you can easily shed layers. So he's probably going to wear that on a pretty regular basis, especially because he has no hair. I, on the other hand, will wear my cap too almost all the time. Another thing that he'll probably wear on a pretty regular basis is his neck gaiter. You want to go ahead and put that on? The neck gaiter covers the area of the neck. It kind of acts as a segue between your layers on your body, your turtlenecks, things like that, and your hood. You can either, as Keith is doing right now, you can either pull it up and over your nose, or you can just wear it down and wear it around your neck. Sometimes when people wear it, pull it up and pull it all the way over to the nose, it can be a little bit difficult to breathe, especially if you're in Antarctica or in Greenland where you're at altitude and there's a little bit less oxygen. So what happens if it's really blowing out, you've got this layer on, and you want to put it up over your face, you want to protect your nose and your upper cheeks, but you're having a hard time breathing by using the neck gaiter. That's when we employ the face mask. So here's a typical face mask. You can see it opens up and it goes on around and velcros in the back. There you go, Keith. It's important with this kind of face mask that it's big enough it can fit over your head with your hood on and your neck gaiter on. So if you're in the store and you put it on and you're not wearing anything, if you're just like me, most neck gaiters will fit. Another thing to think about is that you're probably going to have mitts on when you're putting on your neck gaiter and your over mitts. So something that's a little bit easy to use is good. Why don't you take that one off, Keith, and go ahead and put this one on. This is a different style of a face mask that sort of incorporates the hood as well. There we go. The drawback to this style is that you probably aren't going to want to wear two hats and the hood.
Too much.
It's a little bit too much. So sometimes it's nice to have this kind. Some people have trouble finding face masks, especially if they come from parts of the world where there's not a tremendous amount of snow. So, you find what you can, and then we do the best with what you arrive with. So that's what we would wear typically during the day, and on top of all of that would be your goggles. Want to pull out your goggles, Keith?
Yep, just going to get my system going here.
Here's your face mask.
Yep, face mask.
You can see now that Keith is pretty well protected. He's protected here where his jacket is going to be ending. He's protected from wind here. He's protected on the tips of his ears. And the area that's going to protect him right here, the high cheekbones and the tip of the nose, are really going to be his goggles. Okay? And what you want to do is you just want to make sure at home that your system can pretty well cover all portions of your face, that there's not one little area right here that's left open or one area somewhere else, because wherever you're exposed, right here for instance, that's a possible area for frostbite. So you just want to make sure that your system, whatever it is, covers up the whole area. So we're just going to watch Keith as he figures out how he needs to adjust. This is actually my face mask, so Keith's system is a little bit different. And there he goes, and his hood will be pulled down a little bit more. That's kind of a thing on the ice as well when you're with your team, is you want to watch out for people. If Keith and I were on the ice together, I might say, hey Keith, it looks like your forehead's a little bit exposed up there. You want to see if you can cover that up a little bit? Because every little area, if it's cold enough out, you can get frostbite pretty darn quickly. Looks good, Keith. Your nose is a little bit exposed right here. Let's cover that up.
Pull that down.
Pretty good. Looks great.
This is a little warm for me, so I'm just going to give you a few more options here. Leave the goggles on. This is just an ear band that you might find for running or jogging. These are very versatile because I can actually use it just like that. So now, instead of a full face mask, I have an ear band that I'm using around my nose, so it gives me the coverage that I need, and then I can easily just pull it down and talk to you.
A quick note on the goggles. Goggles are extremely important, especially at the South Pole and in Greenland. Without goggles, you can't be looking out across the white ice for more than 2 or 3 minutes without burning your eyes. So especially at the South Pole and at Greenland, it's really critical that you're wearing your goggles all of the time. At the North Pole, it's not as important. The sun is a little bit lower towards the horizon, and you're likely not to get a sunburn on your eyes quite as quickly. So we always recommend and actually require that people have 2 pairs of goggles. And the reason is that these can fog up really easily and actually get ice on the inside of them super easily. Even if you're just wearing them like this and you're breathing, and imagine that my breath is all white, it's condensing. If I look down to tie my shoes and I'm breathing, this whole area is going to get fogged up.
Well, I have 2 pairs here, Annie. You can see that this pair would be great if it's unlimited sun, bright blue sky. This pair right here if it's overcast. So I have a diversity of goggles to choose from depending on the day's conditions. There's also features such as fans, which help circulate some of the air inside. I've been wearing those over the last couple of seasons and find that they do really well. So Annie, I understand that you wear this during the day, which is a knit hat. You have your options for face masks during the day, and you have your neck gaiter. What do you wear at night when you sleep?
Well, when I go to bed at night, I have a tendency to lose a cap if I'm wearing just a cap as I roll around at night. And you can wake up in the middle of the night and wonder why you're so cold, and it's because you've lost your hat. It's just slowly come off during the night. So what I wear at night, and I know a lot of other people do as well, is what's called a balaclava.
Not baklava?
Not baklava, but a balaclava. And a balaclava just goes on over your whole head and it covers your neck, but the whole face is open. This is really great for sleeping in because I can't lose it at night. It doesn't easily come off.
I add a extra hat on top of that because I don't have that much hair.
Night, Keith.
Night, night.